Hey guys, this is Katie Dozier and Collin for CardsChat.com, and today we're going to be hopefully answering the question, how swingy are tournaments? And Collin, answer right off the cuff right now.
Katie, they are swingy, and we are going to be apparently investigating the answer to this question, which is pretty exciting.
I hope that we can live up to it. We have our monocles at the ready. I hope you do at home as well.
Absolutely Sherlock Holmes style. And we're going to look in just a second on the specific factors affecting tournament variance, tournament swings. But the biggest thing is that the format you play and your edge are going to be really important to that question.
Yeah, and then I think the second concept is something that we couldn't emphasize enough. Almost all formats are swingier than most realize. The natural tendency is to really underthink the effective variance on everything, and it's something that I particularly like to hone in on if I'm going through a rough patch or something, to remind myself that downswings, for the most part, can last longer than you would naturally think.
Absolutely. In a second, we're going to quantify that. We're going to look at that very specifically, look at a graph of that. So the main thing, though, that we need to be concerned with are the factors. So the more people who enter a tournament, the swingier it's going to be. And you also want a higher percent of the field paid if your goal is to reduce variance. It
Maybe
may
it's
or may
not.
It may not.
And mine isn't. I want all winner-take-all, WSOP tournaments.
You are a wild woman,
think?
Katie. Katie, you are crazy. I love it. And the lower the edge, the higher the swings. Conversely, if you have a very high edge, technically it doesn't lower your swings. What it does is it decreases the downswings and makes it so you have fewer downswings, which is vital to winning poker play. Now, Katie, what do you think? We've got our bankroll guidelines. Are these enough?
Ooh, I've seen some dark times in my poker days, and one area where I am definitely a nit is when it comes to my bankroll. I don't like to mess around with that. I'm not a nit at the tables, but I'm a nit in the bankroll, And so I think that, these guidelines are very good and very solid advice. I tend to be really conservative with my own, but I think heads up S&G wanting 30 buy-ins, 9-man S&G 100 buy-ins, and big MTTs 300 buy-ins. These are good conservative things to think about, even if I myself am a bigger nit, perhaps.
Well, one aspect that's important is the psychological component. If you feel better having more money, then you should absolutely do that. It's not just a math problem.
I would like to also meet the people that feel better having less money. They would be interesting to go out to dinner with.
Absolutely. So let's take a look now at quantifying this, so putting some numbers behind these. And what we have up right now is the Prime Dope Tournament Variance Calculator. This is a really cool free tool. You can check it out yourself at primedope.com. And we're going to start off by looking at heads up sit and goes. So we put in 2 players, winner take all. And if you're playing $10 buy-in with a 10% ROI, that means you make $1 per game on average. We're going to play 1,000 of them and simulate that over and over 1,000 times. So how much money on average are we going to make? What is it going to be in a given time? So what we see is that the typical time is going to be that we make right about this $1,000. And we always show a profit every single time we play 1,000 heads up sit and goes. They're not a swingy format, only 2 people. We have a high edge. We're going to make at least $24 and most about 2,000. Relatively low swings.
Especially when we're playing breakless, which is always a nice advantage to have, as we are in this example.
Wanted to keep the math simple.
I think it's very good
I'm
to
a
look
simple
at this
man.
way. It's very good to look at this way. And this really is a wonderful tool. I know I rely on it, particularly when I'm having a rougher time, just looking at how mathematically unlikely is it, if you're winning, that you are going to be in this predicament that a downswing puts you in.
Exactly. And now I want to compare this to large field tournaments. So let's go again. We're going to pull up and we're going to say now, though, instead of 2 people, so we're going to change all these factors we were saying are so important. Now we're going to go to 1,000 players.
Winner take all. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Love it. I think actually most tournaments now, it's safe to say more than 10% are paid, but let's just do that for ease. We're going to keep the rest the same. And how is this going to impact? So notice here, by the way, that we're still making an average of $1 per game. On average, we're still going to make $1,000 playing these tournaments, but how does it look now?
It looks a lot worse in terms of the possibilities for losing. We went from basically being guaranteed to be up to being guaranteed to some part of the time be down for
Absolutely.
playing 1,000 games.
Yes.
Even with the same dollar per game, which I find so interesting.
Well said, Kate. That's exactly it. So 38% of the time, approximately, we're going to show a loss. So this is a tremendously more swingy format. Now you might say, well, hey, this isn't good. Why would I possibly do that?
Right.
And there's an answer, though. There is an answer, which is that the possible upside. We saw for the heads-up Swingo, the most you can win was about $2,000. But now, almost a third of the time, we're going to win more than $2,000. We're going to win potentially $6,000. I feel like I'm an infomercial now. You could win $10,000 playing multi-table tournaments.
Well, at least it gives some credibility and reason to the fact that I prefer these high variance games in general, which is something that sometimes I wish I didn't in poker. But hey, when I'm on that upside of the curve, you better believe I'm proud to be an MTTer.
Yes, you got to ride that wave. And we're going to end it here, I think. So thanks very much for watching. This has been Katie Dozier and Collin Moshman for CardsChat.com.